Hi, welcome to UTHC TV Studios. This is the 16th episode. It is Saturday, September 10th, and it is 1 p.m. Thanks for joining us again for the 16th episode. Lecia here, and I'm with Carmen, and we're doing the English segments, as you may have figured out by now. We have a few updates as always. So let's see what we've got. What do we have, Carmen?
Well, the big story today still continues to be the heat. So this morning, the last time that we did an English segment together, we were saying that it had been a relatively cool morning and that the longer distances had taken off very speedily. Now it's the opposite. Apparently, runners are finding it really, really hard. There's a lot of heat, a really high level of humidity. 30 degrees, and with the humidity, it's like around 34, 35 degrees. And Lecia actually went to the Mont Grand Fond finish area to get an idea of the pulse of what's going on with the runners. You can tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, I went. It's very exciting. I saw a few runners coming in. The heat is substantial. It's very dry. I went running early this morning, and it was cool. I could have worn gloves, and it's the equal and opposite of that. It is so hot. Just not moving, it's suffocating. And I saw a few runners coming in just barely still on their feet, crossing the finish line. So it's getting rough out there, especially for the longer distances. The 125 runners coming in, it can't be easy right now.
No, especially since they've had like two really drastic changes of temperature. It was really hot yesterday, and then the night was, relatively cool. But after that, it's such a big difference between the very hot day and slightly cool night that it was felt as a shock, and probably a second shock today as the temperatures went up really, really quickly. Right,
quite a bit. And when you're already feeling fatigued and your legs are tired, I mean, the heat just feels a lot heavier. Yeah.
And just as a reminder, we still do have runners from 5 different races, although the 28K is probably already pretty much finished. There's a few runners maybe still left, but there's still runners of the 25 out there, runners of the 80 and 65 still coming in, some runners of the 42 coming in, and I think we were told that we have a couple of videos to show you.
We do. Yeah.
So if you could run those.
This is Sam Poehler and the mustache.
And he is the 65K winner, I believe.
Yeah, he just flew. He flew. He went out of the gates flying. He did not stop flying the whole way. He is fast. It was a good race. He had a good race.
He looks really happy to be lying down though.
Yep.
Not lying down, but sitting down.
Sitting down for sure. Yeah. He's
so
in
yeah,
a
there
long
was
sleeve.
Yeah, as we said, when they left this morning, it was cool, and I guess he didn't want to stop to take the time to change or anything like that.
Yeah, understandable.
Which is perfectly understandable. But you can see that the sun is very bright. It's not as foggy as it was yesterday, and that probably affects him a lot. And we have some more footage here during the actual run.
Yeah, this is like one of the start packs, I think. He was in that first starting pack. And he's blending in with the crowd at that point, but I think he broke away pretty quickly. There he is. He has a short sleeve. I guess they were just sleeves that he had on.
Yeah. Yeah, really just blazing along on that trail. Very well marked, as we can see. So yeah, he doesn't seem to find it technical at all, just in a big hurry to be able to get himself to the finish line.
Yeah. He's a remarkable runner. So bouncy, so fresh.
Yes.
Those trails look awesome.
Certainly looks to be part of the woods. And I think that we have maybe one last video of just, no, we don't.
Nope.
Well, perfect then. So that was it.
So we mentioned before that all the runners are coming in from all the distances at this point, which means the parking lot at Mont Grand Fond is very busy. It's very, very busy. When I was leaving, there was already traffic coming in. So we're just reminding folks, if you're heading out there, please try to use the shuttle buses that are available. They leave from La Malbaie. They leave pretty often, or carpool if you must, but get ready to wait and to park far, because
I think the last news that I received is that people are parking 2 kilometers away from the actual parking lot. So if at all possible, please do not take your car to the Mont Grand Fond arrival area. It is completely saturated.
Totally.
And and we wanted actually to talk about the winner of the 125.
Yes, the female winner. Yes. So that was Priscilla Forgy from, well, I think I might be getting my information wrong, but I think she's originally from Ottawa and she lives and trains in Edmonton. And she's fairly new to trail running. She kind of fell into it by accident.
Yeah, in 2019.
That's right.
She was telling me, so very like a new runner.
Yeah, just before the pandemic and stuff. And she really has a knack for it. She's quite talented, and she won the Canadian Death Race last year. We're gonna be talking to her. I don't want to give too much away, but we're gonna be talking to her soon, and she is on her way. But for now, we're gonna build her up.
Yeah, I had the opportunity of speaking with her because, well, you know that this is an international race, and we are so happy to have people from all over the place. And I have the opportunity of speaking, as Lecia does, to those who speak English rather than French. And so I was able to meet her at the press conference where she was introduced as one of our elite runners. And so we're really looking forward to being able to have her here. Probably that the heat and the whole everything caught up to her, and she was maybe resting. So we're just waiting for her momentarily. But maybe we can have somebody comment on the race for a minute. We have here with us today Yann Vezina, who everybody knows, especially if you follow the French segment, who's going to talk a little bit. Yeah, who's going to talk a little bit about the women's race
in English
while we wait.
Yeah.
Yes, in English.
I will.
While we wait for her.
Yeah, so it was a great battle between Mylène and Priscilla. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I haven't slept. I slept 1 hour.
Nobody has slept in this house.
So yeah, it was a big battle. Mylène, of course, she knows these trails. I mean, she won the 80K.
That's right.
There was a lot of great women on that field. There was Claudine Soucy, who also won the 80K. She had 2 DNF. Same goes for Lynn Bessette, Olympic runner.
Right.
She was one of the favorites also. Mylène was leading until the split neck aid station, which is on the second half of that 125K. It's a really hard portion because you leave Haute Gorge, which is the middle point, and then you have over 25K without aid station. Then you have Coyote. Then you have another 20K, and then in the end you got closer aid station every 6K.
That's right.
Split is the first of these last couple of sections. So at the split, Priscilla took the lead, and then from that point you got 1 climb and 1 down.
That's right.
So she got up to Montagne Noire. I believe she was strong because she then flew to the arrival, the finish line, and she posted the 3rd best time in the history of the 125K race. That format, because there was 2. There was a 125K that was actually 117, way faster. The first 20K was really runnable, but ever since 2017, I believe it's a new section. It's 125K, 133, and that's the 3rd best time. Right in front of Emily Hawgood, who placed top 10 at Western State and UTMB, I believe. Right, so it's a really, really great performance from Priscilla. And Mylène also, I mean, that's a great performance too. She's not so far from her.
No.
And Geneviève completed that podium. Geneviève, I don't know if you spoke about her in the English episodes, but
no, not yet.
She's a road athlete, really strong, and she came with a big pressure. She put herself a lot of pressure, and I spoke with Kim Godet, who's a runner from Quebec, and she was her pacer. And she said Geneviève was a metronome, like she had her splits, and she was trying to go on that, and really, really strong mental game. That's what Kim told me. Kim is a great runner. She finished, she won the QMT in Quebec, so she's a great runner, and she was in awe in front of Geneviève, the way she handled mentally that race. So 3 women, 2 in the top. Well, at Geneviève, I think she's 10th, but Priscilla is 6th overall. So back-to-back years where women are really strong in that top 10 overall. And I mean, I'm not surprised when races are hard, when there's a lot of DNF, when I mean, this is where women are stronger.
That's right.
At Western State last year, we saw that.
Yep.
Same goes for UTMB the year Courtney placed 7th. when it's hard, women are stronger mentally, I believe. I don't have the science behind it, but I truly believe it. And we saw that last year with the winner, Jenny Pulte, the second overall, Marianne fifth. Same goes with the race this year, 6th and 7th. This is really, really impressive from these, these 3 women on the podium.
And it seems to be the case the longer the distance as well. The longer the distance, the shorter the gap between the winners, be they male or female. So
and
this is
I
certainly
believe
something
that there's endurance in that. One of the reason is when it's 200 mile, it's longer, and women are stronger in endurance. And I think personally, when the distance are longer, the mental game is even harder. I was speaking with Ray Zahab, whom you talked to this morning, and he was saying in ultra, in long distance, it's 90% of a mental game, and the last 10% is a head game. So
absolutely.
he was just saying it's all about the head.
Yeah.
And I'm repeating myself. I think that when it's about the mental game, when it's hard on the field, women are stronger than men.
Well, we've heard it from other elite athletes as well. Eliott Cardin was telling us as well, that it's entirely a mental game, as you were saying, that he wanted to actually give up a few times during the race, but he's like, no, I'm not going to let myself go there. It seems that your mind is trying to protect your body by saying, you can't do this, you can't do this, and you have to talk back to it and learn to talk back to it and say, yes, I can and I will.
Exactly, and Eliott mentioned that over the past couple of years, when it was hard, he was thinking about, oh, I got my next race in 3 weeks, so I'm going to DNF here. And yesterday, I think he worked on his mental game with a coach Ray Zahab. I mean, he grew as an athlete also, and he had a really bad day. He doesn't hide it. And at the finish line, he was like, that was the worst day. I can't believe I won. And I just reminded him, hey, Marianne Hogan, we all know her. She placed 3rd at Western States, 2nd at UTMB, and both races were terrible races for her. And she placed podium on the 2 biggest stage of trail. So Eliott, I think you must have learned something. I mean, right now you must be sleeping, but
hopefully,
processing that.
He was just walking. He was like still accumulating kilometers.
Yeah, because he didn't even sleep after. He stayed at the finish line. He greeted, the next people who arrived, and there was a big gap. So he was cheering everyone. To him, that's part of it. So it is part of the trail running.
He's a great athlete for a sport. Yeah. I mean, this is so Eliott to just not sleep and stay there and drink coffee.
Speaking of Eliott, he wrote to me at the beginning of this week, and he said, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the distance after all. I might have to shorten the distance, or I might not come at all, because he wants to focus on the next one. And I think last minute he was like, no, in the end, it's cool. I talked to my coach, who's Ray. And I'm going to go ahead and do it, and I'm sure he's happy he made that call.
And it's a huge confidence boost, because I mean, he had a strong race in 2020 at Black Canyon. He then got this golden ticket to Western States, placed second here at the 125, so great performance. Then the next year at Western State, he DNF. Then Black Canyon had a rough race earlier this year, placed 14 in a really deep field, but still 14 when you aim for a golden ticket. Must have been hard.
Can you just remind our viewers what the golden ticket is?
That's true. Yes. When you want to qualify for Western States, there's 2-way, the lottery, which is really, really hard and long to finally getting drawn. But when you're a good athlete, when you're a great athlete, there's 5 or 6 races, I believe, where the first 2 male, first 2 female get their golden ticket, just like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. So you get your ticket to Western States. In 2020, he placed 3rd, but Hayden Knox had already his place, so 2nd and 3rd got their ticket. He went to Western State. He had a good race up until it wasn't a good race at that point, but he abandoned, and then came back to Black Canyon with the same goal. Ended up placing 14. So a couple of rough things for an athlete of his caliber. It must have been hard. And then Quebec Mega Trail on the 50, which is a shorter distance, and he placed 2nd, a great race. Now today, I believe it's a huge confidence boost.
He's got to be
heading to JFK.
Especially as he DNF'd the last 2 times that he tried this distance. So this was certainly something that motivated him to not do that again. And we keep talking about different people here, and so just know that if you missed any of our episodes, please go back and watch them. I think Marion Hogan was which episode? It was yesterday, maybe episode 4 or 5. They all have titles anyway, so you can see. And we also have one with Ray, who is Eliott Gardin's coach, and he talks a lot about his expeditions there. You'll understand where the source of motivation comes from. So please do scroll down and go watch all the episodes, if you're bilingual especially. Some are in French, some are in English, and it says so as well. But back to what we were talking about.
Well, and also on that note, Yann has Pas sorti du bois. He has a great podcast, so he's getting a lot more in depth with our guests on our back porch. So if you speak French, go listen to those, because those you get some really good insight on these athletes.
You've done a couple in English, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I always say that it's a French podcast, and I wanted to do it in French, but Ray Zahab, he's a Quebecer, an English-speaking Quebecer, so he's my exception. So I welcomed him a couple of months ago, and we recorded the podcast this morning.
And that's gonna be a good one.
Yeah,
so
really good.
Zahab is that person. He's really humble. He doesn't show it, but he's someone so involved in our community. It makes no sense. I truly believe that this guy has 36 hours a day, and us mortals only have 24 hours. I don't know how he does it.
Nobody does.
I guess he
so
doesn't sleep.
He vibrates on a different rhythm. Like, it's just it's wonderful.
Yeah, he's super involved with so many athletes, and I mean, he called people, and
he's interested
in people. Up with people. Exactly,
yes.
And it's
genuinely connected.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, did you call that particular podcast, instead of Pas sorti du bois, Not Out of the Woods yet?
No, we kept it in French.
You kept it in French.
Ray is actually speaking French. I mean, he's shy and it's not his first language, but in those episodes, he starts in French, and then we switch to English because it's easier for him. And Ray, you've seen him on that episode here, is a really good speaker. He's a TED Talk speaker, and that shows.
And an author.
Yeah.
And So we might not have our guest as we were hoping so. Maybe some of the things that we wanted to ask her, maybe you know a little bit about her story as a runner, or Lecia, you know her as well?
I know she did. Squamish was when? Squamish was a month ago? I don't even know if it was a month ago.
That's an interesting story. We told it in the French episode.
Did you? Okay.
The Squamish 50 is actually a race. On Saturday, it's a 50 miler, and then on the Sunday, it's a 50K. Some people run one on the Saturday, on Sunday, and there's the Squamish 50-50 where you do both.
Yeah.
And she won the 50-50. And what's actually really funny is that last year winner, Jenny Quilty, she had placed second at Squamish 50-50 also. So there seems to be...
There's a trend.
If you want to win Arikana, maybe Squamish 50-50 is the perfect weekend to prepare. I don't know. Jenny was in 2 different seasons, but still, it's funny to see that the 2 winners of the 2 latest edition of the 125 are Squamish 50-50 podium athletes. So there's something there. I don't know.
Yeah. But anyway, we hope to be able to give you some information at some point, because we're particularly interested in finding out what happened exactly when she passed, because she was not the leader.
No.
I mean, she was amongst the first, but she, until split, I think she was second, and then she passed the leader of the pack to be able to finish. Match. So we're curious to know how that happened. Did she get a boost of energy and she just sped up, or
Yeah. What?
We don't know yet.
Exactly.
We want to know.
So hopefully we'll be able to give you that information when we come back for the next, when we talk to Anne Bouchard in a few hours. Until then,
what she had said at one point, I was speaking with her, and she had said that she really thought that she was prepared for how technical the trails are, because she had heard, we don't know where people hear these things, that, this is a really rolling course and that you can run the whole thing. I mean, I always heard people say that, and I'm like, well, I can't. I mean, but she said that this was probably the most technical terrain she's ever encountered. Yeah. And that was another question that I would have liked to have posed to her, how she dealt with that, the fact that it is not exactly as easy.
I gave her the heads up too, and she was like, yeah, no, I hear it's kind of like Squamish, and I was like, no, I don't think it is. It's pretty technical. I don't know. I think we had we see Charleroi as like this nice, gentle, lovely place, but when you're in the rugged backcountry, it's not cute. It's gnarly. It's roots and rocks.
Yeah.
And
I think if you compare with other trail like Quebec Mega Trail or it's just that it's technical 100% of the course, while here it's maybe 85%.
That's right.
But at 85%, it
of
totally busts your legs.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it changes your way of running, right? Because if you have to raise your legs all the time to be able to pass these routes, well, your legs get solicited in a way that they don't otherwise. So it's just tiring in a really different way if you haven't trained for that. So,
for the record, it's technical. It's not a fast.
Train technical if you want to run this race. All right, I think we're calling it an episode, and we just want to remind you guys to please give generously to the MS Society of Canada. It's a big year. We're going for big goals. We want to break more records. So please continue to give generously like you are.
And another reminder about the parking lot at Mont Grand Fond, please do not go park there. There's no room to park there, and so please try to take as much as possible the shuttle, or be ready to have to walk quite a long ways, because I hear at last call that it was a 2-kilometer walk to be able to get to the Mont Grand Fond area. So thank you very much, and see you at the top of the hour, next hour. Thank you for stepping in last minute. That was great.
That was awesome.